Stokes. The loss of former U.S. Representative Louis Stokes is one that is felt not just within our immediate family, but also throughout all of the greater Cleveland area and the state of Ohio, as he was a man with a zest for life and a passion for loving, supporting his family and friends. No other Cleveland political figure has fashioned a political legacy as large except for his brother Carl, who became the first black mayor of a major U.S. city in 1967. Mr. Stokes, a Democrat, served in the House for 30 years starting in 1969, representing Ohio's 21st Congressional District, encompassing the east side of Cleveland and several suburbs and comprising a predominantly African-American population. The district was created in 1967 in response to a Supreme Court ruling in a case in which Mr. Stokes, then a civil rights lawyer, played a major role. Louis Stokes, a Democrat, was the 11th in seniority among 435 House members when he retired in the end of 1998 as the first black person ever to serve on the powerful Appropriations Committee. Mr. Stokes supported a congressional amendment that made East Cleveland a direct entitlement city. You would love that, Otis Mays, under HUD, that helped fund millions of federal dollars to East Cleveland. Also, as the first African-American congressman from Ohio who helped focus federal attention on the nation's poor and led a special House investigation into the assassination of President John F. Kennedy and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His physical presence here on earth would be greatly missed by family, friends, and loved ones. However, his memory will continue to live on in the hearts and minds of your family and the greater Cleveland community. We encourage you to remember that God's grace is sufficient to see you safely through these difficult times. He knows the depth of your loss, and His strength and greater love is freely given to each of you for your comfort and support. His promise to all His children is that He will never leave you nor forsake you. Our prayers are with the family. Signed by Council President Robert Thomas, Nathaniel Martin, Mansell Baker, Thomas Wheeler, and Councilman Brandon King. Congressman Stokes was special. He was classic. Almost everything in Cleveland and Coward County is named after him. He brought so much to our community, so he'll be missed.
Yes, he will.
And as you know, his brother was the first mayor of a major metropolitan city. So the family, I think tomorrow, they'll be visiting at City Hall in Cleveland. They're going to have a program Monday. Okay, I think it's from 9 to 5 that I heard on the radio. So let's keep the Stokes family in prayer. Okay? We're going to let me set the agenda for you today. We're glad to have 4411news.com here. We have 2 wards that will be on the ballot November 3rd. Ward 2, which has been represented over 12 years by Barbara Jean Thomas, with the challenger, Juanita Gotti. And then Ward 4 has been represented the last 4 years by Mansell Baker. And the challenger is Joe E. Graham. They're not here right now, so we'll probably go first with Ward 2, but we got some house cleaning things we need to do. I also want to recognize why I have the floor. The president of the library of the school board, the Honorable former Judge Unit H.R. Keeney. Give a round of applause. He's been serving our community for many, many years. Also, we recognize from the school board, she's everywhere. She's very active, and she gives of herself, Dr. Patricia Blovac. Stand up, Dr. Patricia Blovac. Did I miss any other elected officials? Now, we have a guest. He's helped us with he's becoming consistent. Something that I always ask, Judge, we don't want to see you at election time, because we want to see you consistently come to East Cleveland. As Otis Mays would tell you, one of the greatest cities in America, and we have one of the most active groups, Shaughnessy, in Coward County. What has happened? What has happened is the people don't come out anymore. Even in the good areas, they're not coming out, but they come here.
Yes.
Because we're organized and we're engaged. Okay? It's hard to get them out. What we hear, Attorney Shaughnessy, is that you go to 59 municipalities, and a lot of times you're lucky you get 5 or 10 people to come out.
That's correct.
Well, we're consistent. Let me tell you something else we do here in East Cleveland. We don't recess, Dr. Patricia Blofeld. We meet in July and August. We never stop.
No.
We're tenacious.
Yes.
You feel me?
Oh,
We
yeah.
are.
Scared me to death.
Okay. I got your attention though, didn't I?
Yes.
So I'm going to ask someone who I think is going to be a good judge. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to speak before we get into the program. And I want you to listen to him because the judicial system is vitally important. Is it not, Judge?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Michael Shaughnessy, go ahead. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Folks, I've been out here a couple times. I've been consistent. I'm considering running for judge in 2016 in the Court of Common Pleas. I had the great pleasure, one of my first cases was with the Honorable Judge who's here and over in East Cleveland across the street. She's been nothing but kind. She's been a friend of my family for 30 years, and so I want to thank you, and it's always a pleasure to see you, and we miss you. But you know what? I've learned from some judges like Judge Keenan, and what I've learned is we need some more East Side criminal defense lawyers, if you ask me, than the West Side, no offense to any of my West Side friends, West Side prosecutors, because that's what we have. So I've been standing next to people, my family's been standing next to people for 40 years. We talk about investing in the community. We have invested on 116th and Buckeye. My brother and I have just rebuilt it. We put $500,000 into the city of Cleveland on Buckeye Road.
Wow.
Okay? And I would ask anybody who wants to come over and see what we've invested. You ask anybody else who's standing in front of you what they've invested in our community or in the people we stand next to, they're going to say zero. We've done it with our dollars, we've done it with our time, we've done it with our resources. And the other thing that I'm really striving for is, some people have talked about heroin or this drug or that drug. That's the drug of choice today. It was PCP before, it was crack years ago. What we need, and the judge I'm sure would agree with me, is we need more expungements. Because if people aren't working, if they have those felony records, it doesn't matter what drug you're on. And some people have gone, and I have a fellow who might be an opponent, who used to be a Republican Man of the Year, who just switched and he's trying to fool you. So take a look at who is actually out there, okay? And who's been here. But more importantly, what about these young folks with these felonies? How are we going to get them cleaned up? We need to get them expungements. I've been going around the community with Judge Gail Williams-Byers, some other judges from the Court of Common Pleas. We put on expungements at some of the local churches in the community, as well as at Notre Dame College, and we're trying to get another group together with the Public Defender's Office, the Prosecutor's Office, the NAACP. I've talked to all of them. I'm trying to coordinate one more big group. So I know the best speech is a short speech. You have other things going. And I just wanted to mention that Judge Frankie Goldberg wanted to be here. She had another commitment, as well as Sherry Madej, who is a friend to everybody here. She's coming back around as well. So I want to mention them. Mike O'Shea will be coming. Go Browns. Go Cavs. Go everybody. And I'll leave you with that. Thank you, Judge. Fantastic to see you again.
Thank you. Mike has been supportive. Mike, you can stay around if it's up to you. But thank you for coming and continue to do that. Thank you for supporting what we're doing, okay?
I will, and we had the pleasure of having him out last Saturday. We had a cookout at our office. I don't know how many hot dogs he had, but it looks like a few.
Oh, Mays would agree with that.
Yeah. So thank you again, everybody, and we'll be in touch.
And we have some door prizes, too, that he brought. Three.
He said bring three, so I brought three.
Thank you. And I'm going to lead us right into this. Now, we spent a lot of money on the cookout that we had a week or two ago. So our treasury's kind of down because we don't press the people, but so we need a kind of like a donation. Help us out. So I'm reaching out to you guys. Patricia, just give it to Patricia. We spend we spend $100. Let me share this with you guys because there's nothing free. We spend $100 per meeting because we mail to almost 200 people. Okay, it's 50 cents per letter, and most of you get the letters. Okay, so our cookout we've been having for years. We had a great turnout. Everything is free. It's not as big as the Glenville Festival. It's not as big as the Festival of Little Italy, but everything is free. When you go to the Glenville Festival, everything you get, you got to pay for. Okay? So if you haven't paid your dues, please see Patricia, because we need it. That's one reason why I'm passing out this flyer for the school board thing will be next Thursday, because we need enough money to cover the mess. Next Thursday, the third Thursday in September. I'm going a little fast. Okay. If you don't have a flyer for the school board, make sure you get one from me. Did everybody get a flyer? Regina? And this is going to be, check this out. This is going to trip you out. Pass this out for me, Boone. Yes, sir. I've been involved in government for 16 years. And guess what's the most important thing? It's not the city council. It's not the judicial system. It's the schools. It's always the schools. Why? Because our kids are nurtured there. Our kids are educated there, right, Judge? And they're the future leaders. So the school board thing is vitally important. I want this house to be packed the third Thursday. You have the flyer. If you don't, get the flyer from me. I'm going to recognize, before we get right into our programming, the person who's been moderating our candidate forums for the last 3-4 years is a very humble guy. Some people would have a big issue with that. I do too, but he's my friend. Mays. So when I call him on, I'm going to turn over to him, and then I think we'll start with Mays. I think we'll start with the well, we'll do the mission statement, but I see Mansell, and I don't, Joey's not here, and I see Barbara and Gowdy's not here. Okay, so hold it 1 second.
I just want to.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, whether they are here or not, I think they've informed to be here, so we can't separate them.
Right.
But I will do both of them at the same time, because the question is germane to whatever.
Okay, once you come up, Mays, you tell them the parameters of how you're going to do it. But I see a candidate here, a school board candidate, and I'm going to have her come up right now before we get into our program to say something to you guys. I think she has a lot to offer.
Two candidates.
She's intelligent. I've had a chance to speak with her, and I think she has something to offer. But you make that decision. Hadisha Battisti. Come on up, Hadisha. She's running for the school board, and tell them something about yourself. Okay?
You've got two other candidates.
Hadasha.
Okay.
Hadasha. Should I go back here, or am I talking loud?
Is the mic on? Okay, yeah. Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Hadasha Battisti. I don't really need it. Can you guys hear me? No. Ouch. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Many of you may know me. My son, Anthony Price, attends Shaw High School. I have 3 children that attend East Cleveland City Schools. I want to say I became invested in the community in 2007 when I purchased my home on the border of Cleveland Heights. At that time, I had a choice to send my kids to Hawkins. It's a very prestigious school, or the East Cleveland School District. After talking over with my kids, I decided to send them to East Cleveland schools because I believe in our community. I believe that we can nurture and support our kids to be whatever they want to be. All of my children are very successful right now. They're doing wonderful. And that says a lot about me because I'm 36 years old. I'm a single parent. And in today's society, it's very hard to raise young males at that alone. I believe my voice is one that really is needed because our children's future is so important to me. Not just my children, but everybody's children. If we don't do something soon about the rate or the direction our kids are going in, I'm really concerned about the future of us, because they're going to take the baton and they're going to lead us in another direction, and I feel like they need a fair chance to compete in the 21st century. I'm a college student myself. I have a focus of pharmacy and business administration, so I am teaching my children the important message about education. That is one of the most important things to me. My oldest son has been talking a lot about the merger of East Cleveland, and he was asking me, what are our options? I told him, as of now, I feel like we have 3 options. We can give up, we can give in, or we can fight with everything we have. And I'm ready to fight. I believe we can turn this thing around in ourselves if we believe in ourselves and our children, but we have to be the living example of what we want to see. And that's the example I'm setting for my children. That's the example I'm going to set for your children. And I'm going to give it everything I got to the end. And that's what you need to know about me. I'm committed to this. I have everything to gain by being involved because my children are going through this as well. So I have every intention in doing a good job and being a good example of what our children have to look up to. And if anybody has any questions for me,
Say your name again.
Hadasha Battisti.
Okay.
It's actually from the book of Esther, so that's a good way to remember it. Hadasha.
I'm not a Bible thumper, but I'll
That's
take your
okay.
word for it.
Very few women in there.
Okay, give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Okay, no questions. Right now, our next speaker, she's new, you need to ask her questions. Our next speaker, everybody knows, and I'm having 3 minutes, and that's our judge, Una H.R. Keenan. Come on, give her, and the president of the school board, and then Dr. Patricia Blahoviak. I think that's all the candidates, okay?
Yeah, she is a candidate for the school board.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm Una Keenan. I think most of you know me. I served as your judge for 19 years here in East Cleveland. I am presently serving as the president of the school board. I've been on the school board since 2007, the year after I retired from the bench. My idea and my goal is to bring excellence to our school board. We need to work on bringing them up. And there has been several increases in different things at the school board. We have the highest graduation rate that we've had since 1976, our children. This year, they had $3 million+ in scholarships, our graduates. Everyone says East Cleveland is on the bottom. It's not. We're not on the bottom. Warrensville is under us, and so is Cleveland. We need to keep our school board going, as I think it has gone in the past. So I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for your vote, and I'm asking you to let me continue to be a contributing member to the school district. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
Dr. Patricia Blahoviak, give her a round of applause.
Thank you. I'd like to present a balanced view of the schools. And I think we need to remember both the things that we've done well, and the things that we haven't done that we need to improve. We've done well. We have a great band. We have a great mock trial team. We have a new band, relatively new band at the Heritage Middle School. We have a Suzuki violin program. We have new STEM labs. We've been having science fairs again since 2008 when Dr. Keenan and I started on the school board. They hadn't been having them before that for some years. Lots of things. We've been sending kids to China. We have a new Chinese teacher. I reestablished the contact with the Confucius Institute that got that going. We have another Chinese teacher who they've interviewed by Skype, and I believe that new teacher, that second teacher, will be based in the school soon. So we've got a lot of strengths. We've got a terrific AP science, environmental science class. We've got some wonderful things. On the other hand, we have a number of challenges. While our graduation rate is better, it's not where we want it to be. While our schools are making some progress in a lot of areas, we need to work hard to get our kindergarten students in school on day one. We need to work in cooperation with the community to encourage parents and community members to help those students be prepared for kindergarten, because a lot of them come to kindergarten without the vocabularies and problem-solving skills that we'd like to have. We'd like to have the attendance better, we'd like to have the reading levels better, the math better. I mean, there are a lot of things that we need to improve. I have been pushing for more after-school activities, and I am looking into ways to find funding for an after-school chess program. In New York City, they gave chess instruction to a number of their students and found improved reading levels because of the improved problem-solving skills. So the other thing that you find is if children have some choices, and usually you're talking about arts and sports and that sort of thing, but the chess may be. I have a friend who died recently who said the only reason he didn't quit school was because he loved the chess club at his school. But if you can give the children some sort of choices, then they become more invested in the school. They are more willing to put up with the things that they're less fond of if they have something that they love. And that may be a person, that may be a class, that may be some specific thing. But at any rate, I'm told that my time is up. And I know Mr. Omays always is very careful about stopping when his time is up. Thank you.
Give a round of applause. Reverend Jackie Goodrum, give the mission statement right quick.
Oh, that's funny. Gotcha.
Have Abraham with me today.
All right.
Abraham is going to give a mission statement.
Yeah.
Come on, Abraham. Okay. The East Cleveland Citizens Citywide Organization. It is the mission and the purpose of this organization to improve the quality of life in the East Cleveland area and to empower the residents through direct and active participation in the government of our city. The East Cleveland Citizens Citywide Organization is charged with helping to fulfill the needs of its members to improve community and self through action, knowledge, and involvement. By working to assess need rather than blame, it is the mission of this organization to seek areas where individuals and group action can make a difference to improve life in the community and to serve as an example for all communities seeking help from within. It is not from them we seek, but from ourselves. Everyone can be great because everyone can serve, and the acronyms for that is S, speak out on issues that affect you and your community. E, educate and update yourself on current issues and candidates. R, register to vote, vote by mail and change your address if necessary. V, voting is mandatory. You have the option to vote early if you choose, and I always say it's mandatory because we owe it to our ancestors. E, engage others in the process, and everyone please get involved.
Thank you. One more, and then we get right into the program. Michael O'Shea is another good guy. He's been coming consistently, and I complain to a lot of the judges and other candidates that if I don't see them only when it's close to election time, don't waste your time coming. But he's been coming consistently, like Brother Shaughnessy. His name is Michael O'Shea. I've been in court with him on some situations, and I think he's a good guy. So give a round of applause to Michael O'Shea, please.
Sorry, I don't use the microphone. Okay, I shout. My name's Mike O'Shea. I'm going to be a candidate for domestic relations judge next year. Not this November, but next November. But I'm out already. I've been out since January. This is my third or fourth time here to the wonderful club in East Cleveland. You guys have a rocking club. I'm telling you how I know. I can tell you I'm a ward club expert, and that's because I've been to 38 ward clubs already in Cuyahoga County.
Wow.
This is my 48th ward club appearance, my third time here. I did something interesting yesterday that is a good indication of my commitment to my candidacy, in addition to coming out to see wonderful folks like you. I, until yesterday, was an executive committee member, person of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party, and had been for 10 years. I was also an elected precinct committee person of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party and had been for a long time. Was a delegate to the 2012 convention, sat in the Ohio delegation, 15 feet away from the greatest president that we ever had. Let me tell you what I had to do yesterday because of some rules that govern what judicial candidates must do. I resigned my commission as an executive committee person of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party, and I resigned as precinct committee person because judicial candidates, because of these crazy rules that dictate what judges can do, judicial candidates are somewhat different than regular candidates. We're not allowed to be active political officers in the party once you become a candidate. So I had been coming to ward clubs thinking, putting my toe in the water to see whether or not I was really going to do this. I got permission from Mrs. O'Shea, as you got to do, and I am running. And I'm going to be running in 2016. I'm going to be running as a domestic relations judge. Let me make something clear. I am not running for the seat that is currently held by Judge Francine Goldberg. Judge Francine Goldberg, as you know, has to run again because she ran for an unexpired term, grabbed that term last year, and is now on the bench. If all goes well, Francine Goldberg, Frankie, thank you, okay. And I will grow old together down the hall from one another in the domestic relations bench, and that is what I'm going to do. And I've got a lot of Democratic experience. Let me tell you, I have a Democratic resume, which I'll be glad to point out to folks, but a great speech is a short speech. In 2008, I was in a place called the Boiler Room, which is a secret room that we had to have in downtown Cleveland, where all these dedicated lawyers and Democratic activists had to make sure that people got the right to vote in 2008. I think everybody knows what I mean. There are ways that our Republican brothers and sisters try to get together to make sure that people can't vote. So I worked in this place called the Boiler Room, which was so secret I wasn't even allowed to tell my wife where I was going the morning of the election when I left at 4:30 in the morning. Because Carl robocalled and shut down those phone banks in 2004. So in 2008, I was in the Boiler Room at 9:22 at night, and I watched this female Fox newscaster reluctantly call Ohio or call Obama as a win in Ohio. It was a great moment. 9:22 p.m. I was looking at my watch when it happened. I remember going home and my wife and I sitting on the bed watching that great Chicago appearance by the president and his family as he walked down the plankway to history. And it was one of the most remarkable political moments of my life. In 2012, I was asked to go back in the Boiler Room so we could hold on to that seat. I declined to be back in the Boiler Room because instead, I wanted to be on the street where it was a little bit more exciting. Because I had heard in 2008, people called me all day and said they're having this and that conversation with the Republicans and they're trying to prevent us from doing that. I said, gee whiz, I'm sitting here on my butt in a chair with a headphone on. I want to be in the face of these people. So I said to Mark Griffin, who was our coordinator, I said, I don't want to be in the Boiler Room again with all due respect. Put me on the street and give me some place that will be exciting, fun, and where things happen. So I was assigned the task in 2012 of being the coordinator for the great city of East Cleveland. And in 2012, from 4:30 in the morning until 9:45 at night, I drove around in the same black truck I got out there right now. And I made sure that all 8 polling locations remained open, that they had pens. You can believe it. I got there at one place, they didn't have pens.